Hello, everyone. Hopefully you guys can hear us out there. I'm just going to make sure our sound's working because after last week, I'm a bit scared about not having our sound out here. So it seems to be working really cool. Hey, welcome to What's Cooking at Plunge Comics, right? So this is something different we wanted to do where each week we introduce you to something a little info about what's happening with us. Little snippets, nothing more than half an hour or video, right? Because I just want to introduce you to our artists, what the projects we're working on. So today we got Hugo Aquino. He's a colorist, and so Hugo, you're working on Incredible, and now you finished that. Now you're working on issue 2, but you also did the cover for for this comic here. Like you colored the cover for this one here. So yeah, how's things, man?
Yeah, well, things are good. I'm busy. I'm working. I'm really enjoying the different projects I'm working on. Like, there's different tones, different just different vibes are for each project, and it's very
Yeah,
cool to be working on be creating different worlds. Not just
yeah,
being stuck in just one world because we're creative, so we don't want to be just stuck doing one thing. But yeah, it's been
yeah,
pretty fun, man.
yeah. I mean, that's the cool thing about it. It's like I look at like when you look at a lot of people, they stick to the one style forever, and they stick to the one genre of writing. Like you look at Stephen King, right? He does horror, so he sticks with horror, and that's all he's done all his life. Apart from one or two books, and even I'm talking about the Dark Tower, even though that's fantasy, that's still horror genre, you know. And hey, awesome, we got Kevin with us. And Kevin,
Hello.
of course, is our illustrator on Incredible, and he's also working on a really cool project, helping us finish off a project called Alienated Alliance, and we'll show that in a bit. How you doing, Kevin?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, man. Hey, thanks for turning up. It's awesome to see you, dude. As I was explaining to the people here, our viewers, that this is just us introducing our artists, our projects, and that's all. And just a bit of banter here and there. But yeah, how's things going with you?
Things are good. I'm in the middle of semester, my last semester.
Yep.
I'm working on pages when I can. Um,
What are
Other
you
than that,
studying, by the way?
it was originally scientific illustration,
Right.
but since the last time I was in school, they got rid of that, and now it's just communication arts, which is just a
Yeah,
blanket term.
it's interesting. I mean, what does it actually mean, communication arts?
I think it combines like graphic design and illustration and a little bit of everything.
Hmm. So right now we've got Kevin working on one of the pages to complete this one book that's been sitting on my computer for friggin' over a year now because we've had issues with trying to get this book finished because it's just what it is. And so right now we've got a mature comic book we're trying to finish called Alienated Alliance, which it's it's about that whole aliens coming to Earth and stuff. And so, have we've got you working on a page for a spacecraft thing. How's that going? But do you have anything to show for that, or can you show us some Incredible stuff as well? Because you're working on
Uh,
issue 2.
I did finish an Incredible page. I'm still reading over the script and getting things like, you know,
Yeah.
generating for that one page because there's still the spaceship design.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's not a lot to it. It's just 3 panels.
Yeah.
Um, but I kind of wanted to. I don't want it to be too jarring from the original art from
Yeah.
the other artist. So you know, it should be
Yeah.
interesting.
I mean, we've got James Hill who's working on Templeton, who's at the artwork here. This is one of our characters, Hypersonic and the Madness. And so the one that Kevin's talking about comes all the way down here. If this thing will catch up, this is a full-on this is just like a prelim thing that we did just put together to make sure that I have something to show for where we're going with this. But so these are the aliens that are part of this what's going on with my computer. Here we go. So these are aliens, Venusians, we're calling them, that are, coming to Earth, on the flight, and they're based on this creature called the Tuatara in New Zealand, which is like a lizard, ancient lizard thing. But so we had 2 artists previously working on it. This is Desi. This works fine because this is a flashback, and so then you get back to this one, which is like current day. If it'll catch up to me. Here we go. So this is basically what's gonna we had started up. It's a crazy in your face superhero book where it's not something that's going to missing words with, because it's just in your face smashing, but it's sci-fi, it's a crossover mature comic books, mature stories and stuff like that. Now how's issue 2 of Incredigo going? Because I've got you working double duties.
Let me present this page.
Awesome,
I just finished. I got it ready for this podcast.
Awesome.
Let's see if I can do that. I've never shared a screen before. How do I do this?
Present and then share, I think pops up there.
Oh,
yeah, it's the one with plus symbol.
I can do window. Oh, okay. It's allowing Chrome tab. Okay, here it goes. Yep. You see it?
Awesome. Yeah. That's cool, man. I'm trying to figure out what page that is, because I like, because I'm working on so many things, I don't even know where most of the times these things are from. So I have to always go back and go, oh, that page. Like yesterday, you said, oh, where's the spacecraft? I was like, oh, right, there's a spacecraft. Yeah. So what page is this from issue 2? This is awesome.
I think it's 17. It's weird. You gave me a page from Alien and Alliance. It's 17, and I was working on 17 of Incredigo as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love seeing new art. I mean, like every time I see a new, anything new being sent to me, I just straight away go, okay, let's figure it out, and what needs to be done. What do I have to do for it? Am I on track with it? So now she looks a bit young there. Or what's the deal here? What's the background here? Because I'm not looking at the script. So can you tell me what's happening on this page?
Let's see. Incredigo and Paracia they're in the van. They're having the conversation over the screen time.
Right.
With the others nearby, and I guess there's like some destruction nearby that interrupts them, and Incredigo has to remind her, you caused this.
Yeah. I love that, man. Oh, go back to it. I was just looking at the background artwork. That's so cool. I was just thinking, that's really cool. The design there is awesome. I've been looking at a lot of like fallen buildings in China right now, because they have this thing called tofu drag, which is they use subpar stuff, like material, to make these buildings. And like even today, there was like a mall, just the floor fell out of a mall. That is so cool, man. I love your background work. It's so cool. The design's amazing.
Yeah, thanks.
Are you able to put zoom in a bit so we can actually see some details in the background?
Just like here.
Yeah, keep going in a bit more. Look at that. So detailed. That's what I mean. Like, it's like when you just look at it from far away, it's like that's you don't see much of the detail. But when you get close like that is so much detail.
Took a while. Yeah, no, there's still a little bit I need to add, so I'm not quite done with it.
Yeah. Hugo's going to have a bit of fun with trying to color that, aren't you?
But it's going to be very, very hard to flat. But then it's going to be fun. Yeah, but it looked awesome, Kevin. Love the detail, love the cars. The cars look great.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. That's what I mean. I love every time I see some new artwork, I just get blown away, because, as you know, I'm an artist, but I'm not an illustrator. There's two different things, when people go artist and illustrator. And so when I see illustrations, I just get blown away. I mean, like this, I was talking, I was sharing with Hugo just before about, this piece of work that came through for the next Robot Nation stuff, character design work. And I'm like, whoa, this way, every time I get work from you guys, I get blown away. And I'm like so impressed by what's going on. This is the character designs from Francisco for the issue 2. And, I don't, I just said this is who they are. I don't give them too much info because at that time I hadn't actually plotted out what they look like, because these guys are going to be living on a spaceship that holds around over 200,000 people. So, you've got all these different things. And then to see that amazing, to see what he's going to do with it. And that's why I love each and every one of your styles, because it just allows me to really try to emphasize push the details out and let people see what's out there, because it's it's not like a lot of people see like it's just when they do it's illustrating comic books, it's easy, it's hell of a lot not. Try doing one and you find out how much time it takes. I mean, you guys can attest to that, right? With coloring and with inking. So Hugo, you've got some colors work set up for issue 2. Do you want to share that?
Yeah, let me see if I can. I mean, it's very simple, but it's better than just to show the progress, right?
Yeah.
Let me see.
Yeah, I think a lot of time people don't understand like the process that goes into it and all the thinking that you have to do, for each sort of colors that you got to plot and tones and shadings and all that, because you got to make this thing come to life. Because you're trying to do as much justice to, the illustrator's work as you're trying to do the story itself. But at the time, when you add color to the, when I've seen the color work that you've done for the books, right? And I mean, what do you think about that? While Hugo's getting prepared there, Kevin, about how your black and white inks come to life with the color.
Oh, it adds another dimension. Yeah, I love Hugo's work on Incredible 1. I was really impressed by that. I've worked. I don't know. I've had people color over me that just kind of muddied things, but his really is vibrant and just adds a lot of flavor to it.
Yeah, you can see that a lot of times, even in current books in the shop, you can pick them up and go, they didn't really try to highlight any of the work, or they didn't really work towards making each other look good. And I think that's what I like about working with our teams, that we're trying to make each other look good. I'm trying to make sure that my bubbles don't squash the artwork, and Hugo's trying to make sure the colors pop, and you're trying to make sure the story is getting told through the illustrations. And that's really cool working on together like this, because you want to make sure that it's a team effort to make each other look good, And so Hugo, you got set up, bud?
Yeah, I can't really share it. I don't know why. It's telling me something about the browser something. But I can respond on some of your comments. Like, yeah, I've seen some colorists that really sort of get lost in the rendering, not really the storytelling. And that's a very important aspect of coloring. Like, sometimes, like rendering is very cool indeed, and showing your technique is very cool. But first priority should always be the storytelling. You should always help here and
so what
make them
I'm
feel
going to just put up
emotions
some of the colors to show people so they can see the actual work from like the issue 1, right? Yeah. So carry on.
Yeah, just focusing on storytelling is something that I focus a lot on when I'm working. Like, even right now, like as I said, I don't have much to show, but what I'm doing right now is just separating the planes. Kevin already does all of this in his work, right? Like, he has a foreground, he has a middle ground, he has a background, and all I'm doing right now is setting a different color for all of those planes. So that helps me make the process a little easier. Now I know, like, okay, this piece of art is going to be washed in the background. It's going to be having a lot more atmosphere than the foreground, and then this character isn't really the focus, even though he's in the foreground. So he can be a little darker, and that's that's what coloring really is, not really just like rendering all of the drawings that are there.
Yeah, I'm looking at the middle panel here, right? You can see the different sort of levels to the three. Like you can see Incredible there with the IG, right? She's slightly to the back and there's light there. But then you look at across over at Nano and the green blue, and you see there's more light tones on him. So like he's, you know, the two of them, like there's a definite dimension or depth to them just in that one single panel, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's basically what I mean. Yeah. Also on the tablet, like you can see, it's just very simple. Like the tablet is just very dark, much darker
Yeah.
than everything else, and it creates incredible depth. Like it's just very simple tricks that you need to learn and do over and over and over again, and it's gonna make the comic just that much better.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I just can't wait to hold the, you know, the printed comic in my hand and just go wow, because I can, you know, because I'm seeing the digital thing, but I can still look at and see all the amazing work you've done. Like you look at the third panel, right, with the coloring there. You've got all these light. What's that called? I mean, like I know there's a specific name for that, light flare or something like that, lens flare.
Lens flare. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so cool, man. Like the differences in that. But then also, when you look at that one panel, you see with Kevin's like depth of field, right? What we call in camera and filmmaking depth of field, where there's like things in the background actually still being you can see what's going on, where you can, because there's light there, there's structure there. So this is what I mean when we're talking about your that other page you just shared on page 17. There's so much detail. Like even on this page, there's so much detail going on. Like even things I'm not even thinking about as a writer, there is things happening on that page. So
Even for that last panel, like I mean, in the script, like we know what they're looking at because we were gonna flip the page, but on
right.
the first, I'm showing you and giving you a preview of what's probably what they're probably looking at, and
Right.
it was just a really fun opportunity for me. I was like, what can I add to this panel? What can I do to make it better, to
Right.
add to the story? And that's where the lens flares come. Yeah, and I know
Yeah,
that's
because
maybe giving myself a compliment, but I really like the decision.
No, well
but I
deserved.
mean, but that's the same thing when it comes to with like films, right? When they do like a sound and there's nothing to show, but there's a sound coming,
Yeah, exactly.
and you like do, and the next thing you know, they switch to the next shot, and it's like a friggin', you know, there's a shark or something's happening terrible on the next shot. So this is exactly what you're doing here, which is like you're showing you're foreshadowing what's to come, which is now they're out in the freaking double page, you know, this huge amazing work that Kevin did on this shot. I love that page, man. Like if I could just have a wall painted like that, that would look so friggin' awesome as a scene. I think we should do that as a poster at some point, because that is such a cool little you know, not little, but like friggin' so much going on in that. So Kevin, with like, you know, doing this one panel here, like the last one there, I mean, you know, tell me about that, because like when I'm writing, I don't really think about all that stuff that's going on, right? Because I'm just thinking, there they are standing there, boom, let's go.
Yeah, it's something I have to work out in my head because I read the whole script beforehand, so I know what's coming up. And like Hugo was saying, setting up that next, you know, that turn of the page. That's something I'm learning about now a lot in my classes, is just you know, storytelling through composition, just you know, leading the viewer. You know, and you do describe like what I need to, you know, represent in every panel really well. You know, I think it's a team effort, definitely. Like I rely on you guys.
Yeah, we want to make it, you know, like I was thinking today, like there was a post that came out, like a tweet that came out from Mark Miller in response to what Rob Liefeld said, right? And he basically said, I go to the comic shops and I realize I haven't bought a current comic in the last 5 or 10 years. And Mark Miller goes, yeah, I seem to be buying manga, art books, and comics like from like Marvel Essentials, which meaning the old stuff. So these two professionals themselves who work in the modern comics aren't buying actual comics from that are current right now. So for us, we have to tell a good story, create a good, good book artistically, and create, characters that actually have, depth to them, so that we can actually, hey, say, well, you should be trying our book, Mark. You should be buying our book, Rob, because we are putting all the effort in, and we are doing current books that are worth, putting out there. And that's, I mean, that's just what we're working towards, really, because, I mean, for me, it's like, I want to tell a good story. I don't really care what anything else. I want to tell a good story with good artists, good colorists, doing, putting together a great page, and working hard at it. And I think we do, with this one book, we did really well, and when issue 2 comes out, man, once everybody's got issue 1 in their hand and they see the real physical, real thing, and I think it's going to pop, and it's going to, bring people to issue 2 much easier. But I mean, we've got so much, coming on. I mean, like, you look at that page to this page, it just, shows the, kind of like, and it's it might seem a bit weird, but the love for the actual, comic, for the characters and stuff, because you can see, you can see what, the amount of passion that, and the creative design that Kevin's put in, and then you come in, icing on the cake with, with Hugo here, basically coloring in and giving it so much, so much more tones and stuff to lift that, but you always got to have a good, illustration to make it work. Because if you don't have a good illustration to make it work, whatever you do later, you can't really, what is called, make a mud cake taste sweet if it's still mud, but when there's a good, like this, when the illustrations are so good, you can keep putting, whatever you do to it, it's going to make it better and better. And that's why I reckon this is going to be a great, keep in touch with what's cooking with Plunge Comics. It's going to be a tasty morsel for you guys out there. So please keep an eye on it, on issue 2. When you see issue 1 hit, Rising Sun Comics page, you'll be able to, grab it from there. But right now, one of our books on there right now is, of course, the digital variant, the digital comic, version of the Robot Nations #1. We wanted to get this out to you for Christmas, and it's out there. So this is where you're going to be able to find it. It's in the chat. So the link's in the chat, I should say. But also, just hit up Rising Sun Publishing and be able to get it for $2.99. It's probably one of the cheapest books you can get for 28 pages of artwork, plus, of course, 4 pages of extra, back matter and so on, and stuff about what's coming up and what we're doing next with it. So that's it, really. And I don't want to take too much of you guys' time away from what you're doing. But thank you guys for joining me. We'll catch you up next week and see what else we've got coming up. But yeah, man, I love working with you guys. I just, love seeing new work, and I just love seeing where we're heading. And I'm really excited about what we're going to be doing coming up. So thank you guys for joining us, and thank you for taking your time. All right, guys. Do you guys want to say anything else before we finish?
I just want to say thanks for having me on, and working on issue 2, I feel a little bit more confident than I did with issue 1. So I think it's turning out to be, it's looking good so far, and I'm happy to continue. And,
awesome.
Keep working with you guys.
Hugo.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for having me on. I mean, I'm looking forward to keep working on it. I'm loving all of the projects and all of the experience I'm having, and yeah, I'm grateful.
Awesome. All right, guys. So like, subscribe, share, and remember, we're going to come back at the same time next week, and we're going to bring some more stuff on what we're working on. Ka kite anō, be well, be safe, hug your loved ones if they're close by, and take care of yourselves. Ka kite anō.